The Creative Process Podcast with Peter Bogdanovich and Catherine Stanley.
Live from New York. No. No. Live from Las Vegas. No, we're not live. Anyway. Welcome to the Creative Process Podcast. I'm your host, Peter Papagiorgio, and this is my wife, Catherine.
Hello.
Catherine Natali.
Hello, and Shanetta Bella, our co-host.
And she's our baby.
And our baby.
Our fur baby. Catherine, you want to introduce today's guest?
Well, I'm really excited. We have Tom Hillary. I mean, he is the executive producer of Starlight Productions here in Las Vegas. His film Seized with action star Scott Adkins can be seen on Netflix. He's also a writer, inventor, and executive producer of the Las Vegas Rocks radio program. And he has received a Lifetime Achievement Award from a Marquise Who's Who. Congratulations on that. Welcome, Tom.
Yeah. Tom Hillary.
Boy, you make that sound so good. I like that.
So tell us about yourself, where you were born, why you're the creative animal you are.
Okay, I'm not sure about the animal thing, but we'll go through the other stuff. Actually, I've been in Las Vegas now for, I guess, about 15 years. They tell me that makes you a long timer here, so that's good. But
We've been here since 05, 17.
Yeah.
But
Where'd you come from? Massachusetts?
Well, it was the stork. No. Actually,
Boston, right?
Yeah. Family's from Cambridge, Massachusetts, going all the way back.
Wow.
But after 5 generations there, I was informed that still makes you a newcomer, and I thought, let's try the frontier out here in Nevada and see
We're
if they got
East
something different to offer.
Coasters.
You
We're
understand
East
what I mean?
Coasters. Yeah, we're from New York.
We're from
and
New York,
Jersey.
you know,
Yeah,
New York.
forget
What's
about
it
it.
to you?
Yeah, what's
She's
it
from
to
Jersey.
you?
Yeah,
I'm
what?
from
Am I gonna make
Queens.
it
Come
funny
on,
with
come
you?
on, come on.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Yeah, we're from the East Coast too. So welcome, East Coaster.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm feeling more at home now.
Yeah.
Another set of refugees, people. Escape from New York.
Well,
Yeah.
we're I guess they call us snowbirds in a sense, or
They probably call us a whole bunch of
Yeah,
things. But
yeah.
snowbirds doesn't sound bad, so I'm going to take that one, okay?
So, Tom, tell us about, growing up and...
Growing up, well, I was an only child, very small family, no first cousins, and just was always fascinated by entertainment and creativity.
Were
and,
your parents in the entertainment?
my
Somewhat?
my mom's actually in about 40 Who's Who's. She was one of the first 5 women ever signed to the United States Military Academy at West Point.
Really?
Yeah, and I think she was the last of the original 5 to keep serving. She's still here, lives in Vegas.
Wow, cool.
And so I had to sort of follow that. She was a public affairs officer, graduated high school at 16, skipped 2nd grade, that sort of thing. So that's a high bar you set on me, Mom.
cookie.
yeah, smart.
Yeah. And Dad was a fourth generation Canterbridgian, an attorney for the family trucking company.
Okay.
So you put all that together, and a good thing it doesn't have any siblings to be compared to, so that kind of helped, because one of them might have been really smart, and look at me,
So when you were in high school, did you kind of get attracted to the arts, entertainment?
Oh yeah, I was. I used to get bored in like 1st and 2nd grade, and I'd get through whatever the teachers were saying, and then I'd be drawing pictures
Okay.
from in our early time. So yeah, I always knew I either wanted to be making comic books or making movies or doing something in the entertainment industry. And a whole bunch of things all came together. I met, by total coincidence, I met a movie distributor who is based here in Las Vegas, long before I was ever thinking of moving to Las Vegas, Stuart. And working with him now, he's the guy who got Seized onto Netflix.
Okay.
A very talented guy. He's also the one who took on the distribution for Looks Can Kill, which I wrote and financed. That's the one on Tubi TV right now.
Okay.
So tell us about Seized.
About Seized.
What's it about? Like, how did you come up?
Okay, well, actually, Stuart presented it to me and said, "Do you want to get involved with this project?" And I said, "Yeah, that sounds good."
Wow.
And what do you need? Just Scott Adkins. He's in the Expendables. He's got a little resume here. Yeah, let's do this. So that's what happened. But I just looked at it, evaluated it, and said, "Yeah, I want to be involved in that and support it."
And
Who
And that's how
wrote the
that came
script?
along. I'm embarrassed to tell you. I forget at this point.
Okay.
It was put out Premier Entertainment. The Axiom family is behind that.
Behind the script? Okay. Yeah.
Well, behind the whole project.
Right.
And when you look at a project and you decide to do it, what's the criteria that you're looking for in a story?
Okay, well, there are two types of projects. There are the ones I write and the ones that I'm a passive investor on. And if
Let's just say you're an investor.
okay, well, if I'm a passive investor on it, I figure you can only fake it so much. You have to like the project yourself, or else you can't get out there and tell other people that they should watch this thing. So I'm looking for a script with a good action story frequently, but something I figure out, what is this going to look like on a screen? Do I want to see this on a screen myself, and could I tell other people they should want to see it on a screen? Yeah, Premier Entertainment has been focusing very largely on what I'm going to call the classical traditional action films. In other words, they're not going crazy trying to be woke.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the thrillers are now very, very popular now. A lot of thrillers are being done. Not so much horror. I think horror is kind of been through the ringer as far as
no, horror's always in.
Yeah,
Catherine.
they say that now they're looking for dark comedy, thriller, and with a touch of horror. It's not necessarily. Would you think that would be correct right now in
Well, comedy.
2022?
Yeah, comedy is always very tough because
Yeah.
different people have very different ideas about what is funny. And we're actually running into situations now where there are countries that are banning American movies. I don't know if you heard that.
Which ones are?
Eternals couldn't make it in the Gulf region, Saudi Arabia, and around there. And I think there was another one, New Avengers or Young Avengers, that just came
yeah?
out. And they're already having a problem. The Saudi Arabia said, we're not going to show this over here.
Wow.
Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
He had, for some reason, a not flattering portrayal of Bruce Lee in it. China shut it down.
Oh my God. Wow. And that's a lot of money.
You're taking a lot of risks. Yeah,
Yes.
now Tarantino's that good that he could actually say to China, no, I'm not going to change it
That's
for you.
true.
But a lot of people aren't in that position.
Well, there's a story about Tarantino, how he ended up telling Harvey, look, I'm this scene
Harvey
is
Weinstein.
Look, the scene of Reservoir Dogs is staying in, and he.
Oh, you know what? It must have been the ear scene
Yes.
You're saying, okay.
when he cuts off.
Yeah.
When they're playing that song "Stuck in the Middle with You" and he's kind of flirting to cut off his ear and all that.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein said you're not putting that scene in because people were walking off. They were, showing the film, and people were walking away. They were walking out, and
Chanel.
so Harvey was like,
Get away.
Harvey was like, "No, you're not doing it." And he goes, "Oh, yes, I am. I'm keeping it in."
Okay,
Good
well,
for him.
So
yeah, I was going to say good for Tarantino if he can do that and
Yeah.
get away and still be in
and still
business.
be in the business, yeah,
And
yeah.
Harvey, whatever else I can say about him,
He's in
certainly
jail
not
now.
Well,
business.
he's in jail, but we,
Not
yeah.
that I feel sorry for him.
Not for his business practices, though.
No, yeah.
So,
Harvey, yeah,
other things put him in
yeah,
jail.
yeah.
Tom, tell us about the creative process for you when specifically when you write.
When you're right. Okay, well, it's kind of like read the Bible and start. So once upon a time there was nothing, and I decided there's nothing there, so obviously I have to put something there. So when you're going like this with your thumb saying, I got to find something on this TV because I can't find anything, they say, if I write something I want to see, I'm sure somebody else out there is going to be like me and want to see it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
that's-
that's the way I do it. I just write something, something I like, and hopefully other people do.
Yeah. Well, that's the beginning. And what I usually do is I go to the what I call the payoff scene of the climax,
Right.
and sort of work backward from there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
okay.
you do the end.
So you know how it ends.
first. Oh, you know how it ends.
You just need to know how to get there from
Yeah.
the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because some people do write the end first, and then they write the beginning, but then the middle is what's
How do you get there from that beginning to that end?
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. And then the other big secret, of course, is then you have to take a whole bunch of people who shouldn't be in the same room together because they're not going to get along, because otherwise
Yeah.
you're not going to have any
Yeah,
tension or any
right,
conflict.
right, exactly.
And you sort of steer the conversation until they finally get to that climax scene you're looking for.
Right, right.
Do that. Edit it once. Just edit it once. Then register with the U.S. Library of Congress.
Right.
Then you've got, and it's all, don't get ahead of yourself either. It's only a rough draft.
Right.
Now,
At that
some
point.
writers do little index cards, and they plot it out.
And the thing is, I know like Rocky 1 is one of my favorite films, the first one.
Excellent, yeah.
And then Stallone said, when he wrote the first draft in 3 days, he says 90% of it was not even used in the movie. He just had something there.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was 88 pages, and it changed a lot. But he says the essence was there, where he was able to,
Yeah, it's got to be a solid core theme
Yeah.
that it's going to resonate with people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you like rewrites?
You know what happens most of the time is have a professional, I think she's an English professor and long experience in Hollywood, Neva Frieden. And once I've got a story that I think is ready to shoot, I know it really isn't. Then I call Neva, you need a job? Yeah, I can do something for you, Tom. Fantastic, here it comes.
Uh-oh.
And she puts what we call the polish on it.
The polish.
Yeah.
She doctored.
Yeah, she'll come up with something like, I think you ought to reveal the villain on page 60, not on page 80.
Yeah.
Let's do more showing how this girl's like a martial arts person, not just the fact that she's robust and can handle a detective's job.
Yeah.
Do you
in
do the 3-act structure
Yeah, 3-act.
usually?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't stick to it rigidly, but yeah.
Right.
In Hollywood, even the biggest scripts get doctored by writers who just revamp whatever was written to make it better and better and better.
Well, you hope, yeah.
Yeah, you hope. And
Yeah,
then
oh,
sometimes,
it's Hollywood.
Everybody's
sometimes,
got an opinion on that.
sometimes, like I've worked with some directors who were also writers. They also, what they do is they have you improv scenes. So they have an idea of a scene, but they haven't written it yet, and you have to improv it.
And you just gave him the scene.
And we just wrote the scene for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were the writers of the scene. That was his idea,
Eh?
but that's how it is in Hollywood.
You took the job. Well, that would be a higher budget outfit. I mean, if you're already
Yes,
talking to
higher
actors
budget.
before
Yes,
you have a script
yes,
in hand,
yes.
you need a lot of resources.
Well, there's a lot of scripts in Hollywood that are improv. I mean, I could tell sometimes. Sometimes you can tell, but there are a lot of scripts. So they're just not, they have an idea, they have an outline, and they say, okay, well, this scene is about this and that. So actors improv.
It works.
It works.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it doesn't.
That's what the editors are for.
Exactly.
Tell the
volunteer
audience.
what works and what doesn't.
Tell the audience
Yes.
what films you've written.
The films are written. Well, the big one that came out was called Project Solitude: Buried Alive, which stars Eric Roberts as a sociology professor. He does an experiment with some human actors, and as you can probably tell by the title, the experiment doesn't go quite right.
Wow.
So
Well, of course it couldn't.
Project Buried Alive. Okay. No, we were not planning for it to work that way, Kitty. But so that one's available on Vimeo, and Looks Can Kill is out there right now. I got that on Tubi TV.
Okay.
That's cool. So tell us about that. How, if someone's listening and they have some content, and how do you approach Tubi, and how do you get them to notice you?
I'll leave that up to the professionals like Stuart. I'm not
Good.
kidding.
Good Stuart.
That's the distribution
Stuart is the
company.
man.
Yeah.
He is the man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a distributor. I'm not a marketing guy, and frankly, I'm not even terribly interested in directing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what I really want to do is get the stories out there that aren't being told right now, and judging by
You just want to be
what's happening with the Oscars,
right.
there are some
Right.
stories that need to be told that aren't being told, guys.
Yeah. I mean, you just want to be a creator.
Yeah, that's where my skill set
Basically.
lies. I mean, I want to sort of understand how the marketing and technical guys do it, but I don't think I'm ever going to be able to develop that skill set in that particular type of patient.
Because there are some people who are just creators and they're not writers.
Mm-hmm.
But you're lucky because you can write and create.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it that way.
Yeah. So when you start creating a new idea, what's your process? What's your creative process?
Well, you have to figure out, number one, try not to repeat yourself. You always want to come up with like a new theme that you're dealing with. Get to the, what do I want to see that isn't being seen? Is this something that is going to resonate with enough people? I mean, you can have something that has like too narrow a niche, and this is where you've got to be making up your own mind. Do I want to be serving this particular small niche, or am I looking for the broadest audience possible? And what makes the whole thing so complicated is nobody's ever going to find the right way to do this. It'll never get reduced to, this is how you build a tractor, this is how you build a car, this is how you make a movie, this is how you make a bowl of oatmeal. It's always up in the air. Nobody knows for sure if anything's going to work out. Spielberg, genius, brilliant. Last movie, didn't quite do what everybody was expecting. So you never really know. You're never really secure.
What's your favorite feature film that you think is perfect that's been done already?
Oh, the ultimate example of creative filmmaking has got to be Hitchcock's movie Psycho.
Yeah. North by Northwest.
North by Northwest, I love.
Yeah, not quite as much as Psycho, because it's such a unique story that you couldn't even steal it, because it would be so obvious who stole this from the movie Psycho. Never been done before. To this day, I don't think there's ever been another movie where the lead actor dies in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I watched this, now what?
But I think I understand that way of thinking where the lead has to be throughout the movie and nothing could ever happen. But I think that's going away a little bit, because I think some TV shows now, or even features.
Oh, they kill main characters.
They kill them. Yeah. I mean, look at Sopranos, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't. There's no. Everyone's like. It's almost like an ensemble going on. There's no one that's like the lead. Everyone is.
Well, actually, there was
connecting with the story.
Remember that TV series with Chiklis? He played. They were cops.
The Shield.
The Shield, right? Remember one of the main characters who was a cop killed. I know it was Chiklis. Didn't Chiklis kill? He killed the cop, I believe, like a crooked cop.
Yeah, he played a rough character.
Yeah, and they say, well, no one's gonna you just killed a fellow cop, even though he was crooked and all that. But hey, the show ran for like 5-6 years,
Yeah, well, there is such a thing as getting rid of some characters, bringing in new characters.
Yeah.
But to do it within a movie, I haven't seen that.
And look at
before.
Columbo. You knew who the murderer was, the old Columbo. You knew. I mean, the audience already knew who killed that person.
Yeah, and the TV Guide review at the time was like, no one's going to watch a show where the audience knows who did it at the beginning. Well, boy, were they wrong. It's
Yeah,
like,
they were really wrong.
They took a big chance and it worked.
just one more thing.
How do you deal with?
You got to see the Columbo show now to know what he was just doing.
How do you deal with rejection?
Get it all the time. I mean,
Yeah, you get a lot of.
you go
no's,
to a
right?
nightclub, you get rejection.
Yeah, it's true.
You put your resume out there, you get rejection. It's just part of life. You just have to decide. Well, a whole bunch of people aren't going to like this, and some people will. And I
You
hope
just
I can
keep
find
pushing,
enough.
right, Tom?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I am. I get mad at myself when I get a no. I said, okay, I have to do it better. What did I do wrong? I mean, do you?
You can't take it that way, because you don't know why the other person is saying no.
Yeah.
It may be a reason. It could be a political reason. It could be a social reason. It could be whatever. You don't know what's motivating the rejection of it.
I'll tell you a story. I was auditioning for a show back in New York, and the first audition was to do a monologue. So I had a monologue about divorce. And so I did the monologue, and the person that was producing the show was very like, thank you. And she stared at me. I later found out that she was going through a divorce. Of course, I wasn't going to get the show or the role, and she would never see me again. It just reminded her. I think the monologue put her in a really dark place. And how would I know? That as an actor going in, how would I know that she was going through a divorce? I wouldn't know.
You don't have any way of knowing.
No.
All you can know is what these people have posted on their online biographies.
Yes.
And like, if they really like playing golf 5 times a day, don't say only lazy old men do that.
Hey, Tom,
but you don't know what's in.
Tell us about, because you're also an inventor, too.
Yeah, you're an inventor.
Oh, yeah. In between trying to get the movies going, you need to occupy some time. So, yeah.
Tell us about that whole process of inventing.
Oh, okay. Well,
what have you invented?
Well, first thing I noticed was cell phones feel really uncomfortable in your back pocket, because they're like flat objects that are pressing against a rounded human body. And
against your tuchus.
Yeah, well, worse than that, I guess they can actually start pushing your spine out of alignment.
Right.
So chiropractors recommend you don't put something in your back pocket.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that, but
Yeah.
I guess you're right.
Well, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the evening of the object.
Yeah.
So I came up with an idea. Wouldn't it be great if the cell phone just sort of like conformed itself to your body shape?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see here.
Yeah, and luckily a friend of mine going back to first grade has managed to get 25 patents issued to himself, Fred. And he called me up a couple of years ago and said, remember that idea you had about, so yeah, what's a good idea? Why don't you patent it? Yeah, no problem, dude. How about I grow some wings and start flying too?
Yeah.
You might need some help. Come on down, we'll talk. So we got the
So how is
the
this
Flexi
shape?
phone.
I mean, people who are just listening, how can you describe what the shape is? And
Well, it's the same shape, but the body is made up of a flexible material that gives you enough give to it so that it starts conforming to your body
I see.
instead of pressing against your body.
And what is that material that is conforming to your?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of different things we can work on in here, but the great news is it's on the flexiphone.us website.
Okay.
And I am so grateful. I got a nice enthusiastic shout out video from Steve Wozniak.
Oh,
So-
nice.
Basically, that's a good idea. So thank you, Steve. I'll take your opinion.
Wow. Congratulations on that. He is a genius.
He is a wizard. Yeah.
And Steve Jobs, of course, was a genius.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good marketing.
Hey, listen, if it
Genius.
wasn't for Steve Jobs, we wouldn't have this today.
No, but
Exactly.
Steve is the one who invented. He was the tech guy, the one who put all those computers together. Without Steve, there would be no job. Without Steve, there would be no jobs. Steve Jobs.
It sounds like that'd be like a great bumper sticker somehow.
I know. I realized that after
Without
I
Steve,
said
there'd
it.
be no jobs, and a picture of Steve Jobs right there. So that was good. We actually do have the industrial prototype models that came in, to
Right.
show that this thing is physically capable of working.
And then you have something else here.
Oh yeah. Well, while I was waiting for that one to have the cell phone that would fit your body, I figured have your clothes fit the cell phone.
Of course.
So wouldn't it be a cool idea if instead of having the thing stuck in your back pocket or your waistband, you had a pocket that ran along the crease between the torso and the leg?
And is this this little notch here? It goes over.
Yeah, basically it's like a the hook you see on a trigger guard on
Okay.
a holster.
I
But yeah,
see.
that one was also issued as a United States design patent. And when you're carrying a pocket on that when you've got a phone in a pocket on that natural crease, you got full flexibility. You can do squats,
It would be
knee
kind of
bends, and it won't break.
would be an idea is to see if you could get it to pull out so that you can keep it on your body as you're on the phone.
Get it to pull out.
Some kind of something here, like a line or something that,
Like a little connector
like
so
a
you
little
don't drop it.
connector, so that because I know a lot of people lose their cell phones.
You don't want that.
No, they put it down and then they forget about it, and then they wonder where it is and so forth, and they start having panic attacks because everything is on there. Their online banking, their contacts. Yes, it's a nightmare. And so
Use passwords
use passwords
for sure.
for sure.
cell
And so
phone.
when they did that, would alleviate because it's not in their pocket, so it's uncomfortable. Okay. They go to sit down, they have it out, but with the phone rings, they don't have to ever, take it off that little. So they were able to move. Yeah.
It's worth considering.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See what I'm trying? Maybe I'm not explaining it right, but it would actually.
Yeah, it's sort of like a
People wouldn't lose their phone as much.
the same way they do eyeglass cases.
Yes.
With a chain attached
With a
to the
chain
belt.
attached.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's
So that's what I'm talking about.
Interesting.
Yeah, because people lose their phone. So with that, they would never lose their phone.
Mm-hmm. Not easily.
Unless they actually unsnapped
Yeah.
it. But yeah. So what else you got?
Oh, well, while we're waiting for that one, I decided we'd try some public safety over here, too. So I come home one evening and about 11:30, not too late, and my mom was at home at the time, and she said, can you do something about that? Chirp, 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 with the fire alarm.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Of course, I felt like getting up a ladder at 11:30 at night and changing the battery, like this. So managed to get through that night somehow. And then a couple of days later, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice if you didn't have to climb a ladder to monitor and maintain a smoke alarm system? Well, if the battery in the monitor was down by the wall instead of up in the ceiling, that'd be really cool. Now, a smoke alarm has to be up in the highest point because smoke rises.
Yeah.
So that's
that's why.
yeah. But there's nothing that says necessarily that the monitoring system and the battery and the power source has to be up there.
True. So it would be like a two-step thing. Like
So the idea is
Why even the power source? Why battery? You could just have it plugged in.
well, you
to the
can.
outlet.
Well, you can, but the reason they have they're actually battery backups
That's true,
because
okay.
Yeah.
they exist in case there's a power outage or when the fire can knock out the
That's
electrical
true,
system
yeah.
too. So that was the idea there. So we came up with, all right, so first of all, how do you do it so you don't have to climb a ladder? Well, you put the battery system like where the light switch is. That would be a lot better.
And it would just be wireless.
You could do both actually, and we've got it remote. I mean, I tend to like actually a lot of hardwired things because they're going to work. And the wireless things, sometimes yeah, sometimes no.
Yeah.
Try your cell phone all over the place versus your landline. Your landline will go through.
That's true, yeah.
So we came up with that, and while we were at it, I'm saying I'm tired of hearing chirp, 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 and running around trying to figure out where I'm hearing that chirp from every 60 seconds. So we put a little blinky warning light in there too, so you'd know which system has to be changed. And to make it even better, yes, also had a rechargeable battery, which is a battery backup into the housing system like you're talking about, or the existing electrical grid of the house.
Nice.
But also, it should be, if you have this in your house, it should be impossible not to have smoke alarm coverage and carbon monoxide detector coverage.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's important. So inventing, there is a creative process to it. You're solving a problem, or you're inventing a new way of living or affecting someone's life. So in a way, it is creative.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And so how long, have you invented other products, or how long have you been an inventor?
Well, these are the three that the patents have been issued on. There's also another 5 pending.
Have there been some that failed, that you've tried to?
Failed in which way?
It just didn't work, inventing-wise? An idea you had, and then you did it, the prototype, and then it didn't work?
No.
No?
As a matter
Pretty
of fact.
lucky guy.
Patent 300.
I mean, actually, when you think about the smoke alarm system, it's like, yeah. Instead of having to switch up there, have the switch down here. That shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world to do.
Right.
So it's it's all existing knowledge, and with the expression they use in the patent industry is skilled in the art. I mean, anybody skilled in the art can tell you, this will go.
Cool.
And before an application goes in, obviously I've got the research guys doing this. Yeah, this will physically work.
Do you develop a prototype for it to do? Like, how does that work?
Well, it depends on what you're doing with the flexible pants. Yeah, I had a custom made. Pants.
I would think you would have to have a prototype.
And like I said, you can do knee bends in them, squats, the full thing. It will work. You don't have to worry about breaking the phone. I know that for a fact.
Wow.
The flexible cell phone, the industrial prototypes just came in a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
So that's going to require a little bit more research. It might require something else at the patent office. I'm not sure. But the research guys are looking over them now and seeing what's covered and what might need to be done in the future.
Do you do focus groups like they do they do that for movies too, focus groups and things like that? You don't do any?
No, but neither did Stephen J. Cannell.
Yeah.
I actually had the privilege of meeting him one time and talking to him for about 5 minutes in Los Angeles. And I said, do you do research? Nope. I just get the idea and write it out.
Yeah.
Most successful television producer in history.
Yeah.
So
there
you go.
There you go.
On the other hand, Irving Thalberg, I don't know if you know him.
Yes.
The Thalberg was he would take the Marx Brothers material out on the road and have guys sitting there with stopwatches.
Wow.
Finding out how long people were laughing at particular jokes.
Wow.
And he did great. So
yeah, who knows?
There's no right way to do it.
Yeah, it's true. It depends on your personality.
Tom, would you like to? We need to wrap up the show.
Certainly.
Would you like to
plug anything?
And plug anything? What you're working on now? Contact information?
Yeah, if you'd like to get in touch with me, the best way would be a Starlight Productions Nevada at yahoo.com. That's the for the movies. Patents I really don't have. Go check out the patents on flexiphone.us, and that'll probably pop up digiflexxtech.com. Same idea. And you can see the various supporting videos and the patents that are issued and pending. And right now we're working on Honey Trap. a Russian espionage thriller.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be set in England because they're good at doing the thrillers over there.
Very, very nice.
Features the
Very,
beautiful
very nice.
Inocenka Danova. Her name means innocence. That's what she says.
All right, Tom. Thank you for being
thank you
on
so much,
the
Tom.
Creative
And the
Process podcast.
continues. Creative process continues.
Continues.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Tom Hillary.